It's again. It's us again, the horror guys.
Yay! I'm Brian.
And I'm Kevin. And we're going to talk about 5 horror movies that we saw, or at least 5 horror adjacent movies that we saw.
And we're like 3 days late for this Christmas movie we got here.
Yeah. Although this movie is actually past Christmas. No, the beginning does happen. The birth. Yeah. So it is a Christmas movie.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Sort of, kind of.
You know, though, if you like Christmas horror movies,
I
hear there's a book out there.
Oh,
The Horror Guy's Guide to the Horror Films of Christmas is available everywhere you buy books.
That sounds awesome.
Whole bunch, 75 horror movies, all revolving around the holiday season. And it's not really past time because there's a couple of New Year's movies in the book, too.
Okay.
Yeah. Of course, you can read all our reviews at horrorweekly.com. Just pop on over there, plug in your email address, and every Sunday afternoon, or maybe Sunday evening if we're running slow, you'll get one email a week with all our reviews in it for that week. And they're the full reviews with spoilers and everything.
Oh, I bet there's a charge for that, though, isn't there?
No. It's completely free.
It's absolutely free.
If you want to pay, you can get a huge backlog archive of them. But just a weekly email. It's just free every week.
What a deal.
Read them as you go. Collect the whole set.
And then you can see what you should see and what you shouldn't see.
We watch them so you don't have to. Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. Or sometimes we'll recommend ones you absolutely should see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we are winding up 2025. In the next week or two, we will have our top 10 of the year. Haven't even begun to put a list together on that one yet, but it's coming.
It will come.
It's usually, from what I see from our download numbers, our most popular episode. People listen once a year.
Well.
Oh, well. Speaking of which, we've got movies.
We do.
Some are very good. Some are kind of awful. Mm-hmm. We got a little of both this week.
We do. It's a good mix.
What do we have?
We have 2025's The Carpenter's Son. Wonder who that's talking about.
It's going to teach us to build houses, right?
Right, yeah. And also 2025's Werewolf Game.
Ooh.
Which is based on a party game.
I did not know that going in.
I didn't either, yeah. 2025's In Our Blood. Blood. I wonder what that could be about. And, going back to the turn of the century, 1999's Godzilla 2000, Millennium.
Ooh, cashed in on that Y2K Godzilla.
And back in time to 1972, The Legend of Boggy Creek, which is a cryptid kind of movie.
Yeah.
Bigfoot.
It's Bigfoot.
It's basically
they don't call it. Well, they do. Maybe they do call him Bigfoot at one point.
Well, they refer to him as Sasquatch.
Yes, they definitely
And
do.
one of the locals says, I don't know what a Sasquatch is, and they have to tell him what a Sasquatch is.
Well, this was 1972.
This was back when Sasquatch was not a household name, or not as well known. I don't know about household name, but Bigfoot had a major explosion in the 70s. Mm-hmm. I remember I was like 5 or 6, and I watched all the Bigfoot shows. And this is credit to how things got a good start.
I think this may be what caused it, yes.
It was an early one, yeah.
I wouldn't swear that I had ever seen Boggy Creek before, but I would also kind of swear that I have. It's one of those things that so many things were just like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It seems very authentic in its documentariness.
I wouldn't be surprised if I didn't see it, but I didn't remember it specifically as we were watching it.
Yeah. If they'd have just called it The Legend of Bigfoot or something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well. Anyway, but let's start out with our Carpenter's Son, 2025. Written and directed by Lotfy Nathan. Not Lofty, it's Lotfy. Stars Nicolas Cage, Noah Jupe, and FKA Twigs.
That's
what the FKA stands for.
That's an unusual name. Yeah.
Hour and 34 minutes. Trailer in the show notes. And I joked that it's a Christmas movie, but it kind of is, sort of.
It's kind of like the origin of Christmas, yeah.
Spoiler free, what's it about?
Well, this is inspired by the Infancy Gospel of Thomas.
An actual book.
Which is an actual book that's not officially in the Bible.
From back in the days.
But it's out there. Where the idea is that Jesus was born with his full powers. And here he is in the body of a boy who doesn't really know he was Jesus yet or what to do with it. And the dad, Joseph, knows he's got powers, so there's some weirdness there, and he isn't sure if he's good or evil or what's going on. It's quite slow moving, mostly quiet, and surprisingly low on action. The horror elements are there a little bit. There's some creepiness. There's lots of religious elements. Well made, but we mostly thought it was kind of dull.
This is a weird movie.
It is.
I mean, everything in the film is actually in the original book, so this is kind of all canon in its own way.
Yeah.
It's not a crazy slasher movie. This is all the real stuff, but it's done from sort of a horror point of view.
Yeah, to lend creepiness to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's some unknowns, and it's like, is this kid a witch or witchcraft? Or a lot of
the people,
folks were thinking, oh, it's witchcraft, and it was.
It's weird.
It was interesting.
It's an interesting concept.
Yeah, it was.
Well, we open on a woman giving birth. I wonder what that is.
See, there's the Christmas movie.
The father looks up and sees a bright light from the sky, along with heavenly whispering. The baby is born, and as they leave the cave they're in, it's kind of a cave, they pass a bunch of people screaming and sacrificing a baby. They want the couple's newborn baby, but they hide it. As the sun rises, the man sees the devil in the desert. Credits roll.
And I don't think it was really sacrifice. Well, I mean, they're killing the baby.
They threw a baby in the fire.
Well, yeah, killing them. But wasn't it because Herod had a prophecy that a baby was going to be born that was going to usurp his power, and so he issued an edict to have all the babies killed that were born a certain time?
In the Bible, that is true. I don't know that they mention that here.
They don't mention that here.
Yeah, okay.
But that's the implication. Well, they do successfully hide the baby.
They're killing babies, whatever the reason.
And get away. Yeah, they don't tell us why. Yeah.
The couple and the baby have been in hiding for years, and the baby is now a young man. The father narrates that the son has powers that can't be explained, but it's his responsibility to protect him. The father is a carpenter, but the only work he can get is carving pagan idols. Well, that's ironic.
Mm-hmm.
The boy watches as the new neighbor, Lilith, a mute girl, takes a shower. He's a little bit pervy at this point.
And he likes what he sees.
He also gets annoyed when his father insists that he pray for forgiveness. The boy has a recurring nightmare about being nailed to a cross with his mother crying at his feet.
Yeah, that's the problem. He wasn't issued an instruction book, apparently.
Yeah.
He's got to figure all this out on his own.
He gets it explained later, I guess.
And he's a normal teenage boy, too.
Yeah.
So it's a paradox there.
There's some parallels here with Superman.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
The boy runs into a girl who wants to play games with him. They find a man with leprosy, and that goes badly. His father still wonders if he's from the angels or from demons. He's not really sure. That night, the leper returns and claims that the boy's touch has healed him. Now all the leopards want to be touched. And later, the girl gives the cured leper a peach, and the next day, the carpenter and the boy see the leper dead. This girl's maybe not completely wholesome.
She is not, and you find out more and more how unwholesome she is and who she really is.
Yeah. Well, then the girl offers the boy a carved wooden snake and suggests that keeping secrets feels really good. She's not being real subtle about tempting him.
Yeah, she's offering him a snake and tempting him. It's not hard to figure out who she is.
Yeah, and then more bad things happen.
Yeah, interesting things and a lot of dull things. I mean, there's a lot of just humming along with not much happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so many flies.
Oh, yeah. It was a very fly-heavy movie.
I don't know that those were special effects. I think they were just in a really smelly environment or something where the flies were.
Peak fly season.
If you don't like flies, this is definitely a horror movie. Nicolas Cage plays this one mostly straight, although he does get one in an unhinged yelling scene, which is something he's always good at.
Yeah.
His cageisms.
Yeah.
The rest of the cast is good, too. The story is a bit weak. This is the problem with going with, a nonfiction book or whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Yet it's based on one of the apocryphal Gospels, but they could have spiced it up a little more.
I thought they could have. Yeah.
It was an interesting concept, but looking back on it, I thought it was kind of boring. From a horror point of view, it's kind of boring.
The cast is good. The kid was good. The girl was good.
Everybody was good.
Everybody was good. But it was just kind of, felt like it was a wasted opportunity.
Yeah. Well, we knew how it was going to end.
I didn't hate it. Well, yeah, that's the problem. Spoiler, you know how it's going to end.
All right. Well, one that we went into a little more. Well, we knew that story to going in. This one, the Werewolf Game, we were more blind into this one than we should have been, probably.
Yeah.
Directed by Kara Claymore and Jackie Payne. Written by Jackie Payne. Stars Tony Todd, Robert Picardo, and Bai Ling. 1 hour, 36 minutes. Trailer in the show notes.
Okay, so a cast of good people.
I figured, Tony Todd would get 5 minutes and Robert Picardo would get 1.5 minutes and Bai Ling wouldn't survive the credits. And I was right on one of those.
And there's some debate on what Tony Todd's last movie actually was. This might have been his last one.
I thought,
or it might have been Final Destination.
Okay.
Well, but this was actually filmed after, or there's some confusion on the timing. It's not super clear.
One was released before the other, and the other one was filmed before the other.
But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, it's one of his final films.
Yeah. Well, 12 strangers with various issues are kidnapped and sent to an island for a deadly game of werewolves and villagers. That sounds good to me. I like the werewolves.
Yeah, except there's no actual werewolves.
Kept in line by security devices and guards, they have no choice but to play the game and gradually eliminate each other. It's got horror elements of kidnapping, human prey, and murder, but it's definitely not a werewolf movie.
Not really horror. I mean, it sort of is, but...
I gave it a kind of a moderate thumbs up, and Kevin gives it a thumbs down.
I hated the script.
Okay.
I thought everybody in it was very good. The setting was beautiful. I didn't like the script. I thought it was complicated and dumb, and I couldn't get into the game they were doing. And yeah, I didn't enjoy it.
I don't know the game. I've never played the game. I had never heard of the game, but I didn't understand what was going on.
They do kind of explain it.
They do kind of explain it, but not very well.
I didn't think they did well enough. And then once they do, it's like, well, okay, you've only got people's word for it. It's like a game of Survivor Island, where they're you lie and
you vote
make
people
alliance.
out,
you vote people out and you make alliances, and it's all a bunch of lying and scheming. And couldn't get into it. Well, I'm going to give you a spoiler synopsis.
Give me a spoiler synopsis.
Spoilery. Just a taste. As the credits roll, we get a lot of action shots and text that explains the Werewolf Game, which is a social game of survival, where random people all over the world are kidnapped and divided into two groups, werewolves and villagers. And it's one side versus the other, and only one side can survive. Plus, there's also a couple other roles that random people have in secret to further complicate the game. Well, we open on a dozen people gagged and tied to little student desks. And a man in a mask, Tony Todd, comes in, welcomes them to the game. He is the judge. 3 of them will be wolves, and the rest of them will be villagers. And he explains the rules. One man tries to fight back and loses a finger for his trouble.
Ow.
Yeah. Well, the judge in the mask introduces Chris, Monica, Demi, Natalie, Bill, Susie, Zach, Seth, Pepper, Matthew, Emmett, and 2 people whose information is not revealed.
And they don't explain why those 2 people aren't explained.
Yeah.
But they very carefully tell us a little bit about the rest of them.
And Demi speaks up, and she says she doesn't want to play, and she just blurts out that she's a werewolf. Let's end this right now. Well, the others vote on who the werewolf is, which is really obvious since she just admitted it. The judge forces a vote. They're like, who do you want to vote as a and say, well, she just admitted it. Demi tells all the others about herself before the final vote. She just wants to get it over with. And then one of the guards blows her head off. That's one of the 3 wolves discovered. 1 down, 2 to go. So yeah, it's basically it's like a feature-length film version of one of the games from Alice in Borderland. Or maybe even Squid Game. In a way, yeah. And then after that, they're given a lot of freedom, actually, on the island. And there are guards making sure, it's in the middle of nowhere, too. They can't, swim for it. But they've got huts and each, have their own quarters and so forth. And then they play the game, and once in a while they have to reconvene and vote somebody out or kill somebody off or, various. There's a body count. The body count builds as... Yeah, but it's a deadly game.
But the problem with the movie is there are no real werewolves in the film, and they don't pretend that there are, although there are a couple of people in masks.
Mm-hmm.
Why hire someone as big as Tony Todd and then have his face obscured by a mask throughout the film.
That was a strange choice.
It was really him under there. It wasn't a stunt double or anything.
And he's got a really recognizable voice.
Yeah, and you could tell by what you could see that it was him. Yeah, and I know he wasn't very healthy toward the end of his life, but he didn't look bad when we did see him, so I don't know what that was all about.
Strange choice, yeah.
Overall, it's a sort of deadly whodunit, more of a thriller than a straight-up horror, but it certainly had plenty of paranoia, and we had plenty of theories going along about who it was. Were you right?
I was not.
Okay.
No, I was wrong. I did not guess who.
All right.
Who was who. No, I had that wrong.
Well, I didn't know until the film was almost finished that it was based on a party game.
Yep.
Wait, what? Okay. There's a lot here that I didn't quite follow in the first viewing, and I know a lot of the company stuff never did make much sense. And yes, I did only watch it once. I don't think I'd want to sit through it again.
No.
The overall plot, pacing, and mystery were pretty decent, however, but overall, I kind of liked it. Just don't expect real werewolves. You, on the other hand...
Didn't like it. Yeah, didn't like the script. Couldn't get into it.
Okay.
Yeah, didn't enjoy it.
You say it's not in your blood. Unlike the next movie that is in our blood. Directed by Pedro Cos. Written by Steve Klein, Aaron Cogan, and Clay Tweel. Stars Brittany O'Grady, E.J. Bonilla, and Alana Ubach. Hour and 29 minutes.
And I'm going to go with this as my winner of the week. My favorite.
Of the new movies, this would be my favorite. I think I like Boggy Creek best.
Okay. Well, spoiler free. There's a film, a filmmaking couple that travel to see her estranged mother, and they're making a documentary along the way, and the entire thing is entirely footage style, found footage. There's no what do you define that, movie style versus footage style? It's entirely footage.
Yeah.
It's very slow moving as we travel along with them to try to figure out what's going on, and then things escalate quickly. So stick with it. All is explained, and it's very good.
We had some technical difficulties about halfway through this movie. We watched like an hour of it, and then it stopped, and we're like,
no,
we still don't know what this movie's even about.
There's more. Yeah.
We got there eventually, though.
Yeah, and I thought it was really worth the wait.
Yeah. Emily and Danny park on the side of the road to get some footage at a scenic place. She explains that she's visiting her estranged mother, who is clean now. She's been an addict forever, and the plan is to record their reunion for a reality film. They arrive at the house in the desert and have a tearful reunion. They all sit down for dinner. Sam, the mother, wants to make it right with you after all these years. Emily turns out to be not as forgiving as she thought she'd be, but Sam invites them to the clinic where she works in the morning, and they all go to a motel for the night. In the morning, at the clinic, Sam isn't there. She's called off work for some reason. Instead, they interview Anna, the program director there at the rehab clinic. They talk to the homeless people there, and they all talk about people going missing in the area.
And the guy who's the photographer always keeps the film running. I mean, even there's more than one.
Don't record this. Don't record this.
You can't record this here. You can't.
But he does.
And he says, "Oh yeah, it's off."
Ignore that red light.
He totally doesn't. He doesn't shut it off.
Afterward, they go back to Sam's house, fearing that she's had a relapse since she won't answer her phone. Emily finds a skeleton key in Sam's bed. A photo is missing, and they look at it on yesterday's footage. Sam burned that photo for some reason.
And she is nowhere to be found.
Emily then spends all day waiting and looking for Sam, but she's just gone. They start to track down some clues and end up talking to some people who saw her just last week.
And they gradually find some of the people that were in that photo, trying to piece clues together.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a mystery.
When they get back to the motel, they find rats and a pig's head. Or they find many rats and a pig's head in their bathtub. Okay, that's a message.
Uh-huh.
Anna suggests it's a gang thing trying to intimidate them. Someone doesn't want them here.
Which only makes them more determined.
Yeah. Well, again, it's basically a mystery. We don't really know what's going on through most of the film. Like I said, we got through the first hour and like, what kind of movie is this?
What is going on here? Yeah.
We don't know until more than an hour in. It was a little slow and almost kind of tedious for the first hour, but it picked up a lot after the reveal, and we find out what's really going on.
Yes, it did.
There was a hint toward the end of a much larger things going on, and that would have been interesting to explore more of, but it's kind of just a teaser. Do they have a series in mind? I don't know, but I'd be interested in seeing more of it.
Mm-hmm. Heaps of trauma, angst, and guilt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The first half is definitely more drama than anything.
And then things get strange.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah, like that.
Maybe not on the great scale is 1999's Godzilla 2000, Millennium. Directed by Takeo Ohara. Written by Hiroshi Kashiwabara, Wataru Mimura, and Takayo Okawara. Stars Takahiro Murata, Hiroshi Abe, and Naomi Nishida. Hour and 39 minutes. And as always, it has an awesome poster.
It does, yeah. I thought it was very entertaining.
If I could outfit my entire house in Godzilla posters, I would.
Yeah.
There's almost enough of them to do it.
Well, spoiler-free, this is actually a sequel to the 1954 original Godzilla, and it ignores all the movies in between.
I don't know how many there are at this point, but they're probably in the 20s.
I thought that was an interesting choice. Godzilla is back to save us all by battling an alien kaiju. And, of course, lots of collateral damage and mayhem is done in the process. The effects, of course, are much improved from earlier films. There's lots of action, and the story is entertaining. It was fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun one.
The Shinoda family, Professor Yuji and his daughter Io, work to set up antennas and equipment outside one evening. They're checking out seismic disturbances that shouldn't be there. Meanwhile, at the lighthouse, the man inside feels the ground shake, then spots a huge creature eating a ship. Credits roll.
And it's been 46 years for these people since the last Godzilla attack.
Yeah, this is a sequel to the original, but all those years have passed.
Wary about Godzilla coming back and are keeping an eye on things and have detectors and and drills for because they're expecting this is going to happen again.
This family is the Godzilla Detection Network or something like that. We get various shots from around town as people first encounter earthquakes and then see Godzilla's big feet pass by. The Shinodas come face to face with the giant lizard creature. I mean, really face to face.
Oh, yeah.
They narrowly avoid getting squished in their car. The professor notices that Godzilla seems to be especially attacking power stations and energy sources.
He's hungry.
Meanwhile, a submarine in a trench drops probes and explores underground caves. They're looking for a meteorite that they've recently discovered down in the bottom of the sea. They find it and manage to raise it to the surface. That thing's going to be really heavy.
Except
it floats.
Suddenly it's not.
Suddenly it floats.
Yeah. They get it part way up and it floats the rest of the way to the surface and starts bobbing there.
Yuki, the photographer, goes to see the Godzilla Prediction Network. Not detection, prediction, okay.
Right.
Which is really just the Shinodas again. Young Io runs the business and tells her father, the professor, what's going on. Because you got to have a smart kid.
Mm-hmm.
Back at the meteorite raising, something goes wrong. The rock rises on its own without balloons because it floats. They soon learn that it's 70 million years old and has something metallic inside. Perhaps even a living creature from outer space.
Uh-oh. Good thing Godzilla's there just in time, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And things happen.
Yeah. Battles and destruction.
So many IMAX and netbooks.
Mm-hmm.
They run around. They got these little, remember the netbooks, the little tiny little PCs? They're like 6 inches across, a tiny little substandard keyboard, screens that you couldn't see on, and batteries lasted an hour and 10 minutes.
But they were cute. They're using those in this. Yeah.
And there's IMAX, the big clear plastic ones. I had one of those.
Mm-hmm.
The special effects have definitely improved, but the CGI on the ship itself hasn't dated terribly well. The Orga creature is very neat and works pretty well. Overall, I like it. It doesn't require on tons and tons of lore from the previous films, but it's implied that the characters already knew who Godzilla was, so we know he's been there before.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. Thought it was an interesting choice doing it kind of like a modern reboot. Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't going to make any more Godzilla movies in Japan for a while because of the American one, but it flopped so hard they figured they better get one out before it diluted their brand.
And it's still mostly practical effects. There's a little CGI this time around.
A little bit.
Yeah.
1972's The Legend of Boggy Creek, directed by Charles B. Pierce, written by Earl E. Smith. Stars Willie E. Smith, John P. Hickson, they like the middle initials with these guys, and Verb Steirman, hour and 27 minutes, trailer in the show notes.
This is a documentary of encounters with a Bigfoot sort of creature in the area around Foki, Arkansas, presented as entirely real and true.
And if I had seen this in the 70s, I would be young enough, I would totally believe it.
Yeah.
Much like I believed all the Bigfoot stuff at the time.
But unfortunately, like so many cryptid studies, any solid evidence is scarce. There are multiple recountings from real people. Many of the cast just play themselves. That's like literally a documentary.
But this one, unlike real documentaries, you see Bigfoot. You see the monster several times.
Could be a guy in a gorilla suit.
Oh, he could be, yes.
Actually, in some of the... If you look close, you can see it's clearly a guy in a gorilla suit, recreating the stories, that these people have told. Like, this is how this happened. It's kind of interesting, and it's a snapshot of life in the area in the early 1970s, rural Arkansas. They try to play it up for tension and scares, but it's rated G, so it's pretty tame.
I would think it's pretty freaking terrifying if you're young enough to watch a G movie.
You'd not want little kids seeing this.
This is not a little kids movie
because there are some attacks and people getting thrown around by the creature, and so don't expect much horror, but it was an interesting watch that we enjoyed.
Yeah, stuff like this is what got me into horror at the time. Watching these scary documentaries.
It helped.
And yes, it's portrayed as a real thing, and I guess it was a real thing. There are a lot of the people in the movie were actually reported these sightings.
Yes, they did. Yeah.
Now, whether you believe in Bigfoot or not is another story, but
then they interview.
The story is real.
Some of the people just tell their stories, and some of the stories they recreate with actors and a guy in a gorilla suit. So we get to see,
It's a weird movie, though. It's got some weird editing. It's got characters that do nothing.
And a soundtrack.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome soundtrack.
Well, we're told that this is a true story, and some of the people on screen are the original people who participated in the real drama. We watch various scenes of a swampy area and hear lots of wildlife animal noises, to the point of it getting a little creepy. There's a lot of mood setting here.
And the kid is presented as the narrator. He's telling the story of...
Yeah.
This happened when he was a kid.
Well, he's an adult now.
Yeah.
Well,
but we see him a little boy here.
Right, yeah.
The next paragraph here.
All right. Well, a little boy runs to town and tells the old man about a wild man who's hanging around his mother's house. The old men laugh and send him home. On the way back, he hears the thing roaring in the woods. Jim tells us about it. He's a little boy, all grown up now, as credits roll. Well, we're told about Fauke, a tiny town near Texarkana. We hear about Smokey and Travis Crabtree, a couple of locals. It's a pleasant place to live until the sun goes down. And we see Smokey, they go on for a couple minutes about Smokey doing his fishing and Travis doing his things, and neither one of these ever see the monster. Travis is mentioned again toward the end for no particular reason. He didn't see the monster. He was not involved in any of it. Why are we seeing these people?
Because they're locals. They're giving us local flavor.
Okay, well, we cut to a few locals describing their encounter with the thing in the woods. Some of them have lost livestock to it, and the creature has terrorized the area for the past 15 years. As the people tell their stories, we see a dark, hairy creature lumbering through the woods. It's a Bigfoot, but they don't call it that. We watch a scene with 3 women alone in a cabin one night as the creature skulks around outside. We next watch a little boy hunting deer, shooting at the creature. And things escalate.
Mm-hmm. There's monster hunts and monster encounters, supposedly, and yet no evidence.
Well, as you pointed out, it's rated G, which puts this almost in a class by itself right there. I could count the number of G-rated horror movies we've seen on one hand.
Not many.
We watched the creature kill a dog and told how he ripped its skin off. And that's a whole big terrifying stalking thing, throwing people over through the windows and stuff later.
Yeah.
I don't think this would be G-rated now. It would get something higher than that.
It sure seems like it.
IMDb says, the film is based on actual reported encounters with a Bigfoot creature in the Boggy Creek area of Arkansas throughout the 60s and early 70s. Most of the actors in the film were the actual people from the encounters. Well, your credibility may vary on that, but at least some of them believe it's real.
Yeah.
We heard and saw a lot about Travis Crabtree, but he never has anything to do with the monster, so why was he even included? He even got a song. There's a song about Travis Crabtree as he goes through his rowboat fishing, and why?
That's quite a song,
too. Well, the documentary-style narration and interviews make this all seem very real. I don't doubt that many people, when this came out, did believe it. Bigfoot was huge in the 70s, and this was most likely a big part of that. One of these days, I want to do a Horror Guy's Guide to Bigfoot movies.
And it was a very popular drive-in movie. I read it was the 10th grossing film of 1972.
Huh. And it must have cost them $18 to make.
Yeah.
It's very, very low budget.
Very good profit margin there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the realistic way it's done and the earnestness of everyone interviewed makes this one stand out. I mean, I don't believe in Bigfoot, not in the least bit, but it seems like a real documentary. It seems very serious.
Yeah.
It's very dated, kind of cheesy to the modern eye, but in the 70s it would have been amazing, and I still like it. My favorite of the week.
And mostly I found it relaxing and enjoyable. There's all the nature scenes and the rural people, and the narrator's voice is very soothing. And it's actually a very soothing movie.
Except for the attacks and the deaths.
And there's an awesome music soundtrack that includes a ballad for the creature, too.
Yeah, the music, that's just weird. I don't know what they were thinking putting that in there. I had to fill it in with something, I guess.
Yeah, liven it up. Yeah.
Hey, we're all out of movies.
That's all. We got to watch more now.
Next week, we're going to have some other movies. We got 4 movies that are from 2025. We will return to Freddy Fazbear's.
All right.
We will go to... But before we get to Freddy Fazbear's, we're going to take a stop in Wormtown with some influencers. And maybe when we're done, we'll find a keeper.
Okay. Sounds good.
And we'll watch an oldie. And an oldie, too.
Until then.
Yeah, until then, I'm Brian.
And I'm Kevin.
And we'll see you next week.
See ya.